Well, Bloomington's ambitious fiber optic plan will bring rapid download speeds to thousands of homes, but homeowners affected by damage during installation can find themselves bogged down for months. Ethan Sandwise investigates why these accidents happen and what homeowners can do about it.
Hoosier Fiber Networks connected the home of Mike Sauer and his wife Vanya Castro to citywide broadband last January. Sauer said it only took a few weeks before the trouble started.
We started having some problems in our bathrooms. A lot of gurgling going on in the toilets when you flush them.
Sauer suspected the issue was related to recent fiber installation. When city utilities came out to investigate, they discovered contractors had drilled through his sewer line. The contractor responsible, Vertical Underground LLC, sent out a crew to repair the damage. Sauer said that fixed things for a time, but several months later, the problems resurfaced.
We had to call the plumbing people back and clear out our lines like the week before Thanksgiving when we were having guests come in from out of town. Our entire family was coming here and the toilets are all backing up.
Now Sauer is at a loss. He worries that if contractors won't cover repairs, he could get stuck footing the $12,000 bill. Fiber installation is the largest underground infrastructure project in Bloomington since cable television. It will dramatically improve internet speeds and connectivity citywide, but Dave Broden, CEO of Hoosier Fiber Networks, says Bloomington can be a challenging place for a project of this size.
An urban environment like Bloomington is very dense with underground infrastructure, and some of that infrastructure, including parts of the utilities, dog fences, irrigation systems, are frequently unmarked.
The city of Bloomington maintains over 420 miles of water main pipe, not including the service lines that lead into buildings. As Vic Kelson, director of City of Bloomington Utilities, told the Common Council earlier this month, breaks are usually caused when contractors misestimate the depth of pipes.
They know if I'm standing on top of it or not, but they can't be quite sure how deep it is because the land surface elevation does change with time.
According to James Hall, Assistant Director of Transmission and Distribution for the City of Bloomington Utilities, because soil composition is inconsistent, an inexperienced or unaware contractor could also end up drilling further underground than they realize. That was the case for a sewer force main contractor struck near Gentry Estates last month, causing waste to leak into a retention pond.
That sewer force main was at between 4 and 5 feet somewhere. Well, and they thought they were only going to be at 2 feet.
Broden says Hoosier Fiber Networks tries to cut back on this by getting rid of unreliable contractors.
Any subcontractor has multiple instances is typically removed from the project.
Dealing with pipe breaks can be frustrating for residents because it's not always clear who to contact. The city of Bloomington doesn't contract or pay the companies installing fiber, so it's not liable for accidents. Rather, it granted the French infrastructure company Meridiam the right-of-way to develop. Meridiam's local subsidiary, Hoosier Fiber Networks, oversees the entire project, but the actual installation is handled by a general contractor, AEG. AEG, in turn, works with subcontractors that dig, bore, and lay cable. In the words of City IT Director Rick Dietz, going to the city as a middleman is not usually the best route.
If you do notice there's an issue, talk to and the contractor is in your neighborhood, talk to them, immediately because they will often, address the problem.
Hall says breaks can take weeks, months, or even years to become noticeable. The longer a resident waits to investigate drainage problems, the more difficult it can be to prove a contractor is responsible.
I think it's better for them to be more proactive than, trying to be reactive maybe 18 months after when you're going to have trouble convincing someone that they did this 18 months ago.
Still, both the city and Hoosier Fiber Networks say it should never land on the consumer to pay for those mistakes. Broden says when his company's contractors damage infrastructure, they reimburse either the city or the property owner for repairs.
Anytime Hoosier Fiber Networks is at fault for any damage, it's totally the financial responsibility of ourselves. It's not on the homeowner. The homeowner's not going to have to pay for anything.
Still, the path forward isn't clear to Sauer. Hoosier Fiber Networks says the contractor responsible has been moved to another project in Columbus, Indiana, and Sauer is unsure whether he can prove that the continuing problems are connected to the initial break. Since the damage is underneath his property and not on the public sewer main, the city says they can't inspect the sewer laterally to diagnose the problem.
Just having to deal with the situation for this long has been frustrating.
Residents affected by construction should contact Hoosier Fiber Networks. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Ethan Sandwise.